Well, let's hear more now from Robert Jenrick, who is in our Westminster studio with our political editor, Christopher Hope.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, with me now in Westminster is the Reform UK finance spokesman, Robert Jenrick. Great to have you here. You're taking your specs off. Your serious Robert Jenrick disappeared? Or why is your eyes suddenly failing you now you become the finance spokesman?
Oh, I've always had bad eyesight.
Have you?
Yeah, if you walk past me and I don't recognise you, then you'll know
Happens
why
all the
now.
time with politicians. They don't know who I am. So you said you want to reinstate the two-child benefit cap, but you voted to lift it in February. Why is that?
Yeah, look, people have said there's some confusion, mischievously. Well, there isn't any confusion now. We've been very clear. Nigel and I have discussed it. And look, this policy came from a good place. We want to help British families to have kids and to bring them up properly. But we can't afford it right now. The public finances are a mess as a result of Rachel Reeves' mistakes. And we've got to restore fairness to taxpayers. And it's not right at the moment that so much money is going on welfare. We want to stop that waste so we can spend it on things like tax cuts for working people or on public services, the things that the British public actually want to see.
But in November, Nigel Farage said it was the right thing to do to lift it for British families. Have you told him, have you laid down the law on your first day in your new job to think about the economy, Nigel? We can't afford it.
Well, we have discussed it, yeah.
Was he happy about this?
We talked at length about it, and he understood that the public finances are in a bad place. We've got to restore discipline, and that Reform is a party for working people. It is not a party of welfare. And so Nigel and I are completely aligned and be in no doubt that we're going to bear down on the benefits bill. We're going to restore fairness. We're not going to waste the public's money. And if we can get that right, then we can get the headroom, the fiscal space in time to cut people's taxes.
But he was against it and you told him to do it?
Well, you're going to get me in trouble with the boss now.
Well, I'm just asking.
The two of us have had a conversation and we both came to the right place on this.
But who's the leader? You or him?
Where did this come from? It was Nigel's desire, quite right, to help families.
Yeah.
And he felt that successive governments, Tory and Labour, haven't done enough to help families in recent years. And if in time there are opportunities to maybe use the tax system to help families, we should take them. But at the moment, the public finances are such a bad state, we can't afford this.
Because fiscal probity matters if you win the election. You've got to be clear,
we want to send
the markets.
I want to send a very clear message to the great British public, to GB News viewers, that you can trust us with your money. I am going to be, as Chancellor, as careful with your money as you would be yourself. We believe in fiscal responsibility, bearing down on the welfare bill, stopping all this waste that we see at the moment, the money on hotels, foreigners getting access to the benefits system. That's all going to come to an end. We're going to take real care with people's money, more so than any other party in British politics today.
On those numbers, 25 billion from cutting benefits to foreign nationals, is that a right number? Have you checked that number?
No, I've been over those numbers, and they're absolutely right. We're going to stop spending money on foreign aid. We're going to stop spending money on benefits to foreigners, and we're going to increase the immigration health surcharge because it's a national health service, not an international health service. And so if you want to come here...
Your passwords are your passwords, only for your eyes. But how safe is your phone or laptop or tablet? Well, watch this. I press one button and my phone is now shielded from hackers and prying eyes. ExpressVPN is your protector. Yes, you can protect all your passwords fast across multiple devices with ExpressVPN. Premium, fast and highly secure. Get big peace of mind for a low cost. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code to get up to 75% off, plus 4 extra months free, all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. Protect your online life today.
As our guest, you pay the proper price for it.
I was interested in your new economic model, a return to manufacturing. Is that a protection against AI, which could be a problem for a service economy? Is that where you want to get? Your dad, of course, Bill Jenrick, Soul Fireplace, a tribute to him. Is that where you want to get back to a kind of country of manufacturing as much as services?
I want to make more things, yes, absolutely. We are very exposed, one of the most exposed economies in the world to AI, because we're 95% service-based, and AI is completely disrupting, upending all of those industries. And these are good middle-class jobs. The people who are working maybe in the back offices of law firms.
But you can't fight it, though, can you? You
firms.
can't fight that progress.
No, exactly. But how can we respond to it? Well, firstly, we've got to make sure that we're well placed for the industries of the future. This isn't backward looking.
Okay.
We've got to have a proper industrial strategy so that we can take advantage of those opportunities in technology. But we should also be trying to reindustrialise our country and to salvage and rebuild industries like car making, steel, chemicals, heavy industries that rely on energy in particular. And that's a difference the reform's going to offer. We're going to scrap all of the mad net zero policies that, frankly, both parties have indulged in for too long, bring back cheap and reliable energy so that we can be competitive again.
But you're also a tax cutter. Will the top rate of tax go into your watch?
Look, I would love to bring down people's taxes, but the first thing we've got to do is cut out all the waste. And I'm not going to come on your programme today and make false promises on tax. You've seen that before, haven't we? We've seen where that goes. Look at Liz Truss's mini budget. Rachel Reeves said no new tax rises. She increased taxes by 60 billion quid. So people are very weary of chancellors making these promises only to break them. I want to ensure that everything reform says is serious, rigorous, fully costed.
Just finally, critics say you're Tory 2.0. Alarm clock Britain. I'm old enough to remember that was a George Osborne expression.
Well, people have told me it was Nick Clegg. It was George Osborne. I mean, God knows where it came from. But look, I came from that world. My dad was getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning with a white van at one stage to go to his factory to set up a small business. Those are the people I grew up around. They're the people I represent in North Nottinghamshire. The thing with reform is we know where we came from. We're going to make sure that those people are properly looked after. Bring down their bills, bring down their taxes, cut out the waste that they're sick of, and bring back good jobs for all parts of the country.
OK, well, it's your second day in a row. We'll hold you to that over the next coming months and years. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Chris.
Robert Jenrick. Robert Jenrick there, Charlie.
Thank you very much, Chris, for that interview. Let's speak now to our senior political commentator, Nigel Nelson. Now, Nigel, we've heard Robert Jenrick there talking about reindustrialisation. Sometimes it feels in this country that we're closer to total deindustrialisation. What have you made of the extra detail he's given Chris Hope there after his speech earlier today?
Well, I mean, the detail there, I was busily doing some sums as he was talking. So he's talking about saving 25 billion. Great. So he would save 3 billion on reintroducing the two-child benefit cap. He would save 8 billion on cutting down overseas aid to £1 billion. That still leaves us with 14 billion pounds to go. And I'm a bit confused about his taking benefits away from foreign nationals. Shabana Mahmood is already doing that. She's making them wait between 10 and 20 years before they can make any claim at all. Is he talking about taking them away from people after that, people who've settled here? If a nuclear physicist loses their job, who happens to be a foreign national, are we saying, oh no, you can't claim any benefits at all? So what we actually need from Robert Jenrick is real detail to find out exactly how these plans are going to work.
OK, and we've also heard from him today talking about Danny Kruger's plan to streamline the civil service. That'll generate, they say, an additional £4 billion in immediate savings. So there's another few billion for you, Nigel. Other areas that he spoke about earlier today, which could be closely aligned to what Sir Keir Starmer's been talking about the need to have more infrastructure developments, about planning law having to change. I remember the Keir Starmer of last year, at one point, going to war with the Green lobby, talking about how so many regulations block action from taking place, almost seeming very frustrated with the law that he was working with. Robert Jenrick echoing that language today.
Yes, and absolutely right. I mean, in that sense, they're in tandem. Aside from brownfield sites you can develop, there are these greyfield sites, places that are meant to be green areas and turn out to be car parks. So, yes, there's an awful lot you can do. Robert Jenrick talks about it. Keir Starmer is doing it.
Well, Keir Starmer's still talking
about
it.
He's doing it.
He's also talking about getting closer to the EU. And we heard Robert Jenrick today talking about EU rules blocking house building, for example, and that he wants to
We are not rejoining the EU, so we won't have to take those rules. Resetting our trade relationship will be a benefit because there's too much red tape at the moment. The idea is to get rid of that.
I think this wedge issue on foreign nationals having benefits, that could be a bit of a tricky point for Labour down down the road, Nigel. I know you're looking at this hypothetical example of a nuclear physicist claiming universal credit. I'm not sure how many there are of those in that position, but I mean, I know you said that Shabana Mahmood is bringing in these new rules about it being sort of 10 years down the line for indefinite leave to remain, that you get access to welfare. Reform taking a stronger stance, might that push Labour into changing their position as well?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think the idea of depriving it from everybody, no matter how long they've been here, is ridiculous. And not only ridiculous, it's unworkable, and it probably won't happen.
If you've been here long enough, you'll probably get a British passport, and then you have access to all.
Well, there you go.
As well.
There's always that way.
All right, Nigel, thanks very much for your thoughts. So it's 90 minutes past 5. It's time for the